Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barreto. Let's take a look at the headlines. The former finance minister says government's 2012-2013 fiscal package will see the development of the economy. Claxton Bay residents now able to make full use of the Springvale recreation grounds. And Arts and Multiculturalism Minister says plans for an arts and performing theatre in the pipeline for the people of East Trinidad. Thank you for joining us. Foreign Affairs Minister and former Finance Minister, the Honourable Winston Dukaran, says government's 2012-2013 fiscal package will see the development of the economy towards fiscal stability. He was speaking in the lower house as the budget debate continued.
As the 2012-2013 budget debate continued in the House of Representatives, Foreign Affairs Minister and former Finance Minister Winston Dukaran says the decision to tackle the CLECO HCO debacle is key to getting a number of the financial issues affecting the economy resolved. He says government, recognizing the implications the matter had on not only the local economy but the wider Caribbean, took the bold steps to deal with the issue.
Somewhere in the vicinity of 13% of the GDP, and represents $19.7 billion of public funds in one form or the other. That is a major and significant impact on how this economy could have gone. If that situation had remained unresolved, or if that situation had allowed to take its own natural course, then the entire economy would have been put at risk in terms of the size of the problem. Not only here in Trinidad and Tobago, but also in the wider Caribbean.
It's this strategic approach, the minister says, will assist in managing the country's fiscal debt, while at the same time insulating the economy against any financial rumbles that may take place globally.
We began to develop a strategic approach to this problem. And as I indicated to you, the first demand was how do we climb down and keep our debt situation manageable? How do we climb down and ensure that there is still stimulus in the economy to promote some growth? How do we climb down and ensure that in so doing we created a sense of stability? That was really the basic premises of the plan.
Outlining some of the initiatives for the economic expansion, Minister Dukaran adds that such steps will see a reinforcing of the country's fiscal reserves and assist in creating room for further development of financial spaces.
Expanding our domestic economic space here in Trinidad and Tobago for embracing financing opportunities for the future to finance the growth that must come, for building on the capital formation process by widening the scope of capital investment, and for looking at new dimensions to position Trinidad and Tobago in the region and beyond the region. We have now begun the process of drilling down for development, and these measures are aimed just to do that. But the population and this hardship were not ignored. At all times, there must be a balance between the economic returns and the population.
In his presentation of the 2012-2013 fiscal package last Monday, Finance Minister Larry Howai gave an estimated total revenue, oil revenue and non-oil revenue, at $50.7 billion. Kimberly Ramkalawan, News 4.
In an effort to meet citizens and to get their views on the national budget presented by the Honourable Larry Howai, Minister of Finance and the Economy, News 4 visited several parts of the country where constructive criticism and views were invoked. Though some shared mixed reactions to the fiscal package, this report indicates that the majority was pleased.
Some believe that a new kind of confidence has been renewed in the government of Trinidad and Tobago following the presentation of the national budget, while others feel encouraged by the new measures that will come into effect amid at improving the country's international competitiveness. And there are also some who do not feel as confident. Trinidad and Tobago is soaring to higher heights as never seen before. After listening to the Honorable Minister of Finance Larry Hawaii's delivery of the national budget for 2012-2013, it is clear that Trinidad and Tobago's economic performance has been and continues to be stellar in the face of widespread uncertainty in the world of economy. We spoke to some of the citizens, the average man on the street, and they shared with us their views.
But you know, Mr. Robinson, when he applied the VAT, he promised the country that he's going to take it off 1 year later. And that's never happened, it never materialized. So I think the population is in for some treat this time, a small treat. I hope it lasts a long time.
Some wasted no time in saying that they were especially happy with the minister's approach to the fuel subsidy to the removal at the top end, while at the same time announcing a more aggressive CNG conservations and availability.
The budget 2012 for me, I feel, is okay because, especially with the gas, the premium gas, I feel that if you have money, you're not working taxi with premium gas. That is for the high class people and things. So people can't complain and say that taxi fare had to go up and things. You understand? So I feel it fair enough.
Others praised the government for the initiative of the removal of VAT from some food prices, which will come into effect November 1st.
It's very good. A good move.
Some shared similar sentiments and also offered a suggestion.
I think it's good, but the only thing that I think that a lot of business places may hike up their prices, right, to get that 15% back that they will be losing now, for want of a better word. But I think it's good so that, you know, we can at least have some more food on our plates.
Well, it's a good thing, but most of the items that I usually buy, I won't benefit in any way because what I remove VAT on, I hardly buy those things, you know.
Well, we have to wait and see, you know. We have to wait and see. Can't just jump to conclusions.
And while everyone was not agreeable on some of the implementations by government in the national budget, the majority of persons said they were encouraged by Finance Minister Larry Hawaii's approach to fiscal discipline and his clear priorities for sustainable growth and competitiveness of the economy. While some are concerned with the removal of value-added tax on food items, Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessar assures that over 7,000 items will benefit from this move. Well, there you have it, folks. The national budget has managed not only to create and address a new structure of national priorities, but has been able to build upon what was a very strong foundational work since the start of the People's Partnership government. Reporting for News 4, I am Joseph Lopez.
News 4 continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Food Production Minister Devant Maharaj is said to be on the drive towards pushing food production in the direction of becoming a sustainable value-added industry. Speaking at the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation in Agriculture Open Day and Accountability Seminar, Minister Maharaj says emphasis is being placed on the expansion of agribusiness sector as a part of strategic policy aimed at combating the food import bill.
Food Production Minister Devant Maharaj is pushing for empowerment of the agribusiness sector here in Trinidad and Tobago. Speaking at the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation in Agriculture, ICA's 70th Anniversary Open Day and Accountability Seminar, Minister Maharaj is expressing the need for emphasis on value-added food production. He notes that this can only happen when priority has been placed on further developing agribusiness at rural levels through strategic policies, something he says government remains steadfast to achieving.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago has prioritized the expansion of agribusiness as a strategic policy objective for agriculture generally and as a strategy to combat rising food inflation and food imports, oftentimes propelled by inflation and imported at that. I know that the support provided by ICA in Trinidad and Tobago fits precisely into this trust, including policy analyses which we have undertaken in the citrus and rice industry specifically, and other areas for improving their competitiveness. I would like for research and development to reach the private sector, reach small farms, reach those in need of sustainable livelihood, and actually being implemented.
Minister Maharaj adds his ministry continues to work at removing impediments that hinder the growth of the agriculture sector in Trinidad and Tobago.
It is a distinct honor to say that the Ministry of Food Production, based on these parameters, if you wish, have created the enabling environment to support the use of technological innovation in agriculture. Our efforts to successfully remove or manage these impediments are not only expected to result in the adaptation of improved agricultural practices, but also in a change in crop composition, which is expected to increase in the average farm income.
However, he notes that improving competitiveness also requires the adoption of new technological strategies, and adoption to such changes by local farmers is crucial.
We have recognized the importance of adopting technological innovation in agriculture. Unfortunately, its uptake is relatively slow or non-existent in some areas of Trinidad and Tobago. New technology seems to offer an opportunity to increase production yield and income sustainability. Some of the identified constraints to technology adoption in the sector include financing, limited access to information and training, risk aversion, inadequate farm size to maximize return, inadequate incentive related to land tenure, labor, access roads, and inputs such as seed, chemical, and water.
A series of consultations, which include the study of catchment areas of farmers, as well as an outreach to small farmers and those in need of sustainable livelihoods, has commenced. ICA, together with the ministry and private sector groups, are said to be engaged continuously in the development of the agribusiness sector. Kimberly Ramkalawan, News 4.
In other news, Claxton Bay residents will now be able to make full use of the Springvale Recreation Grounds. This after the Honourable Nizam Bakhsh, Minister of Public Utilities, formally commissioned the floodlights at the facility, which he says will now bring joy, security, health and peace to the neighbourhood.
Claxton Bay residents are being urged to make full use of the Springvale Recreation Ground now that it has been illuminated. The facility was lit as part of the National Lighting Program, which has seen the illumination of parks and recreation grounds throughout the country. Minister Bakhsh emphasizes that the grounds should be used to not only provide recreation to youngsters, but also as a place where healthy lifestyles can be promulgated. He urges persons in the community to see the importance of the facility.
I would like to call upon the youths, the adults, the senior citizens, the students, and indeed the entire community of Springvale to come out in your largest possible numbers and to ensure that everyone participates in some form of activity that this illumination enhances. Participate not only in sporting activities, but in those programs which will be designed towards healthy lifestyles. I would like to emphasize on activities that will maintain health, as the Minister of Health stresses in his Fight the Fat campaign. I would like to advocate a craze to defeat the crime problems and negative influences through night sporting activities. I urge you to use this gift wisely. May these lights bring you joy, security, health and peace to all those who live here and use this facility.
Minister Bakhsh insists that the newly lit grounds can prove to be not only a source of entertainment, but also a place where persons' entrepreneurial spirit can be fostered. He says the lights will create benefits that can be instantly recognizable.
With these lights, my friends, the odds are in your favor to do better. Many who have felt an entrepreneurial spirit burning in them now have the chance to set it alight. Start your own micro-enterprise. Sell pies and doubles to spectators at events which will now become regular occurrences, or water and Gatorade to a future athlete or gold medalist. You may or may not become extremely wealthy or produce a world-class athlete or another Sohan Gidari, but you will see immediate benefits from having these lights. I have no doubt that you will create your own positive experience so that you too can be an example of the impact of the National Lighting Program.
The illumination of the Springvale Recreation Ground cost just under $290,000. 16 spotlights have been strategically placed around the perimeter of the ground on 4 12-meter poles. The project took around 3 months to be completed. Gregory McBurney, News 4.
We'll be right back. Stay with us. Praises continue to pour in for the West Indies cricket team following their 36-run victory over Sri Lanka in the final of the ICC World 2020. The region has been waiting for success at international level for a long time, having last captured a major ICC title in 1979. Commenting on the team's triumph over the hosts, the Honourable Anil Roberts, Minister of Sport, congratulated the team on the victory. Quote, "The West Indies has proven themselves a courageous and determined team to lift the Caribbean's first world cricket title in 33 years. It is a tremendous moment for West Indies cricket and even more so for the ever-loyal fans who want to see their team do well. I must congratulate the entire team for their efforts throughout the tournament, bouncing back from a shaky start to earn a spot in the final." As regional 2020 champions, Trinidad and Tobago has a strong presence on the triumphant West Indies team, a fact not missed by the minister. He continues, "I am even more pleased to note that 6 of the men, Samuel Badri, Sunil Narain, Dwayne Bravo, Karen Pollard, Dinesh Ramdin and Ravi Rampol in conquering Maroon are from Trinidad and Tobago and each made their contribution to the tournament win. The youngsters Darren Bravo and Lendl Simmons also played their part in the team dynamic. Sunil Narain is worthy of special mention for his haul of 3 wickets for 9 runs in the final of the 2012 ICC Emerging Player of the Year with his beguiling left-arm spin, which led the West Indies to earn 5th place on the most wickets list for the World T20 tournament. The positive energy from the World Cup victory should flow onto the upcoming Champions League T20, in which Trinidad and Tobago will participate for the 3rd time. The team has already arrived in South Africa, and we look forward with even greater anticipation for the Red Force to emulate the groundbreaking success of the West Indies." End quote. The Trinidad and Tobago team will face Yorkshire in their first qualifying match at the Champions League T20 on Wednesday, October 10th. More news after the break. Stay with us. Arts and Multiculturalism Minister Dr. the Honourable Lincoln Douglas has plans to possibly establish an arts and performing theatre are in the pipeline for the people of East Trinidad. He was speaking at the launch of the Aruca Power Fest 2012.
The Aruca Power Fest was formally launched in East Trinidad and will see talents portrayed in a number of cultural areas such as parang music, steel pan, drumming, calypso, tassa and chutney, among many others. Speaking at the launch was Dr. Lincoln Douglas, who says the avenue will provide a platform for young talented persons to showcase their creativity and skill.
The aim of the festival is to provide a platform for various talents in east of Trinidad and Tobago to come together, and that is the parang, steel band, drumming, calypso, soca, chutney, all of the tassa, the various art forms that we're so rich and blessed with in the east of Trinidad and Tobago. We want to also expand our cultural calendar throughout the year so that there are more opportunities for entertainers and artists and to participate in the East also.
The Arts and Multiculturalism Minister spoke of the launch of the Parang 2012 festivities in Lopino. He also made mention of the many other festivities to look forward to in the future.
A rhythm festival. The Rhythm Festival would bring forth the various kinds of rhythm throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, we would be looking at the defense force type or the marching type of rhythm. So we're looking forward to all the various rhythm bands, that whether it's the police, the army, fire, the cadet force, MyPat, etc.
All the various activities, he says, will pave the way for the development of arts in the East. The minister is also revealing plans to establish an arts and performing theatre in the area.
All of this is moving towards developing a specific space for the performing arts in the East. We've said that we have North, we have South, and the people in the East are clamoring for their own space. And we're looking very seriously right now into a serious performing theatre art space in the east of Trinidad and Tobago, and we hope that this will be able to jumpstart that quest.
Verna Barath, News 4.
Well, in related news, for the first time in 40 years, the Parang season did not kick off in Arima, but it was held in Lopino. The community is known for its Spanish heritage, and they had the honor of hosting for the first time the annual opening of the National Parang Festival, which saw hundreds of patrons from all over the country flocking to grounds or to the grounds for Parang.
Lopino ranks among the stomping grounds for Parang. This year, persons from all parts of the country came to enjoy the launch of the season in the shadows of the Lopino tennis courtyard.
The music is fine, the whole atmosphere is fantastic. Yes, enthusiasts. I have my bottle and thing. Make a little noise.
It's amazing. The music is really it's amazing. I see the sense of community, and people have come together to make this thing happen.
I didn't expect this kind of music here because I thought it's always the steel drums and those things. Yeah, but this is for me new. This is a little bit Spanish here or more.
You guys are having fun though,
Yeah.
I came down just for this.
The staging of the event in Lopino is all about keeping the traditions alive. And apart from gearing up for the infectious Parang, the villagers busied themselves preparing cuisine like pastels, ham and turkey, roast pork and an array of wild meats.
Gorgeous. I had pastels and gyro chicken. Yes, they're from Santa Cruz, of course, and I know they perform very well. It's really good. The pastel is smooth, and the gyro pork is excellent.
The aroma coming from the food huts was simply irresistible, and even I couldn't resist tasting it. Mouth-watering. There were, however, scores of people taking in the music from out on the road. The decision to hold this year's opening of the festival in Lopino was taken by the National Parang Association Executive in collaboration with Minister Douglas, the MP for Lopino Bonaire West, who offered to host a major Parang event as part of his constituency's Aruca Powerfest celebrations. Speaking with News 4, the minister says that government has a plan that he believes will improve and preserve local festivals and traditions.
This is my constituency, Lopino Bonaire West, Lopino in particular. So we had a good collaboration going on. We were developing something we call Aruca Power Festival to highlight what the arts and the culture in the east of Trinidad and Tobago. And so we thought it was a great opportunity to do some kind of collaboration. And speaking with the Parang Association, they were willing to come to Lopino.
Minister Douglas says that the government is seeking to have communities bid to become the home of festivals and traditions such as Parang, Ramlila, and other such cultural expressions.
The Aruca Power Festival is a series of events, as we've pointed out earlier today, that starts with the Parang Festival, then goes into the Pan Festival, then the Drum Festival, our cultural festival, takes us right into next year with the launch of Carnival 2013. So all of this is working beautiful for the east of Trinidad and Tobago, and I am particularly concerned about the east because we've had a lot of cultural emphasis on north and on south, but in the east there's quite a deficiency. So I'll be looking to develop a lot more of the culture for the east of Trinidad and Tobago.
President of the Village Council, Donna Mora, says she is very happy with the decision by the minister to hold this year's Parang opening night in Lopino.
Dr. Lincoln Douglas, he lobbied for it. He said this is a gift to Lopino for our 50th anniversary. And wow, this was really a gift. And I really appreciate it.
The show took place in the Lopino Recreational Grounds and took the form of a free Parang Kulafet, which, judging from the huge turnout, was a resounding success. 10 Parang bands performed on the night before several hundred people. Joseph Lopez, News 4.
Well, that's how we wrap up this edition of our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barito. Thank you for joining us.